No, I hear that Paul Simon's next new single hit's going to be The Sound of Violence. He's shifting gears. You got to look at some of the comments from people. Make a new plan, Stan. God. Still crazy after all these years. Likely some blah, blah, blah. Sound of Violence. Someone wrote that. Hop on the bus, Gus. You don't need to discuss much. Just drop off the Keeley and set yourself free. What'd he do? Hit her in the kneecaps, someone wrote, and someone said, no, he gnawed her in the ankles. Because she's a beautiful woman. I mean, she's younger than him, but taller than him, and what shape she's in. Vibrant. He looks like the uncle from the funeral that she's taking home, that he can't get himself home. And they say, could you take Uncle Izzy home? He doesn't look too good after the funeral. And then someone writes, what'd he do? Hit her in the kneecaps? That's why she called 911? Oh, that's not right. So then someone writes, no, he gnawed her ankles. This is awful. This is just awful. Another one said his next hit's going to be 50 Ways to Beat Your Lover. Another one writes, like a fist over troubled partners. Come on, these are bad jokes. Should I go on with the jokes, the bad jokes? Could happen to anyone. But, what do you mean disorderly conduct between a couple? They yell at each other. That happens with couples, right? But this usually means that one of them struck one. And by the way, he's a major league global warmist left-wing fanatic. Left-wing fanatic. That's why I'm doing this. Right? Where's his other partner, Art Garfunkel? What's he doing with his life now? I'd like to see what he looks like these days. Still angry after all these years. True liberal making a war on women. Not him, of course. Liberals, though. Someone writes, I guess now that Mickey Rooney's passed, Paul Simon needs to represent the Munchkin comedian community with occasional acts of amusement. Stop it. Tough being 72 and having to compete with Justin Bieber for stupidity awards. Anyway, what are you going to do? You want me to do the news now? Terrible what happens to people. Aging is terrible on people. It's time and gravity. He looks deranged. What's with the crumpled hat like from a Jewish funeral that someone sat on? The hat looks like it was put down on a bad sofa in a funeral home and someone sat on it before he put it back on his hat. And the bodyguard with a crumpled suit, she's all smiles. There's only one reason couples fight after a number of years, sex or money. There's no other reason. It's never over anything else. Now, the big news is not Paul Simon. God, I wish him well. I'm sure nothing went wrong. Nothing untoward went wrong in there. But I would recommend some sartorial upgrades from my point of view. He could consider a career in radio at this stage of his life where he could wear pajamas while at work. So Obama's on an apology tour. He's in Malaysia, which has one of the worst human rights records in the world. And, of course, as you know, Malaysia is one of his favorite countries because it's a Muslim country, and he's very comfortable sort of going home. And he gives a speech where he puts America down with a backhanded slap and clip, too, Neil. Let's hear it.
I think the Prime Minister is the first to acknowledge that Malaysia's still got some work to do, just like the United States, by the way, has some work to do on these issues. Human Rights Watch probably has a list of things they think we should be doing as a government.
If this man, I don't know how to say it, so I'm a talk show host, I should know how to say it. Let's say this. I think he should be arrested for sedition when he arrives back in America. I don't know how you feel about this president putting this country down wherever he goes. He goes to Muslim nations that are despotic.